10 foods you should avoid while breastfeeding. There is no human being who cares more for another human being like pregnant or nursing mothers care for their unborn or newborn children. While this is true, and most mothers will do almost anything to protect their unborn or newborn child, mothers unfortunately can harm their children without knowing it. In this video, we are going to share with you some foods that may not seem unsafe for a mother to eat when breastfeeding, but they are unhealthy for the newborn, and mothers must know about them and avoid those foods as much as possible, or at least eat those in moderation. When you're pregnant, you need to carefully watch what you eat to make sure you don't consume anything that could negatively affect your baby's development. When you give birth, it doesn't end there. If you're planning to breastfeed, the more careful you have to be about what you eat. Keep in mind that the breast milk you produce comes from nutrients absorbed from your bloodstream. That means that whatever you eat directly affects the quality as well as the contents of the milk your baby depends on. While breastfeeding, the foods you should avoid aren't always the obvious culprits. Here's a list of the most common ones that mothers must know about. 1. Alcohol. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, breastfeeding moms should avoid drinking alcohol altogether. If you must, you can consume up to 1 standard drink per day, but wait at least 2 hours before nursing. 2. Caffeine. The Australian Breastfeeding Association says that approximately 1% of the caffeine you consume makes it to your breast milk. While that might not sound like much, remember that your baby's body doesn't yet know how to deal with caffeine. If you're drinking coffee to stay awake, that might cause your baby to stay up as well. They also might become jittery and colicky. 3. Chocolate. You might not have to cut chocolate from your diet entirely, but it's common for babies to be sensitive to it. Not only is it a source of caffeine, but also might give your baby the runs. 4. Dairy. A dairy allergy is one of the most common sensitivities among breastfed babies. Usually they are sensitive to cow's milk proteins and not the lactose. That means switching to lactose-free milk doesn't make a difference, and you'll need to eliminate it from your diet entirely. Don't worry though, most babies grow out of this, so you can try reintroducing it again when they're a little older. 5. Fish. Fish can be a good source of fatty acids. However, most commercially available fish are riddled with mercury that could impede your baby's development. If you want to eat fish, make sure you're selective about the types as well as the source. 6. Garlic. Garlic isn't necessarily bad for your baby, but many babies don't like the taste it leaves in their milk. If you notice that your baby is reluctant to feed after having a garlic-rich meal, it might be best to avoid it in the future. 7. Parsley. Parsley isn't particularly harmful to your baby either. However, it tends to affect your milk supply. In very small quantities, it shouldn't cause too much of a problem. However, if you're already having trouble producing enough milk, it would be best to leave it out of your meals entirely. 8. Nuts. If your family has a history of nut allergies, it would be best to avoid eating nuts until your baby is no longer breastfeeding. The compounds that make nuts allergic can be passed on through breast milk, so it's best to avoid it altogether. 9. Sushi. Apart from concerns about mercury levels in fish, raw fish might be a source of parasitic infection. While that's not likely something you can pass on to your baby through breast milk, you might end up being too sick that you'd need to give up breastfeeding entirely. 10. Wheat. If you've been eating wheat and you don't observe anything wrong with your baby, you should be fine. But if your baby is incredibly fussy, you might want to try eliminating wheat from your diet. Intolerance to the gluten found in wheat could cause a host of issues, from indigestion to bloody stools. Most babies outgrow this, so you can try reintroducing it again later on. These are just some of the most common foods you should avoid while breastfeeding. There may be others that your baby could be sensitive to. Make sure you keep a close watch and observe your baby for signs of fussiness, bloating, or indigestion. When these happen, think of what you've eaten and try to watch for patterns. In most cases, you'll be able to track the culprits and avoid them next time. That way, you're always producing the best possible milk for your little one. Here are study references. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please share with your friends, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. If you want to be notified of our new uploads, do the following. New subscribers, click on the bell icon when you subscribe. Old subscribers, please turn on all your notifications.